Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with the Pokemon Battle Federation Season 8, Week number 5, and we're taking on the St. Kilda Serperiors, coached by Bacon Chess. And he's got a terrifying squad. He's got Ponyta and Snivy, he's got Alola Meowth, he's got Sololis and Yamask, so some nice Trick Room support there. He's got Elekid and Squirtle and Hippowdon. Hippowdon. He's got the mini Hippo, baby. Who else has he got that I missed? What is that? The poison type. Oh, Pidgey and what's that? Gulpin? Is that what it's called? Gulpin? Something like that. Anyways, our team is as always. We've got Meowth, the team captain. We've got Diglett, Mankey, Badoo, Smoochum, Staryu, Larvesta, Azurill, Bonsly, and Corphish. And our team, or our opponent this week has Ponyta, which is a very, very frightening Z-move user with Flame Charge and Inferno Overdrive. I do have Azurill though, so I'm pretty safe versus the Ponyta, and I actually am bringing Azurill. He does have Snivy too, which puts a little pressure on Azurill. I was deciding whether Sap Sipper or Thick Fat for either Snivy or Ponyta, and I decided since I have Badoo, I would make Azurill a 100% check to Ponyta and Badoo a 100% check to Badoo. It can also semi-check Elekid. And gives Diglett, if he does knock me out, it gives Diglett the opportunity to trap him and eliminate him from the match, so on and so forth. We've got a Life Orb Meowth here, Choice Scarf Diglett, Eviolite, Badoo, Berry Juice, Azurill, Life Orb, Staryu, and a Eviolite Corphish, which let's see here. Let's go ahead and hop into the team builder. First off, we've got Life Orb Meowth, which is a very, very solid mon in this matchup. I was actually able to run a negative speed nature so that I would only get. Oh, first of all, my 2 attacks stab that I'm going to be using versus everything outside of his slowest Pokemon is going to be Fake Out and Faint. I'm using those versus everybody, so I don't need speed because Fake Out always goes first and makes the flinch on my first turn out, and then Faint always goes first anyway because of its priority. It goes before Quick Attack, goes through Protect even, and so on and so forth. And I have Knockoff for the Solosis and the Yamask. Life Orb Meowth there with the Adamant Nature, even Max Attack. Does quite a bit of damage with knockoff to things like Yamask and the Solosis. Am I saying that right? Solosis. Pretty sure that's right. And then he's got the Hippopotas. Anyways, we've got Water Pulse for it with quite a bit of special attack investment. Fake Out and Faint really does the job versus everything else once they're in range and whatnot. Obviously, I'm not going to stay in and try to knock out a full HP Ponyta with a Faint or a Water Pulse or anything like that. But yeah, outside of Solosis and Yamask and maybe a few other slower things like Squirtle, I don't really need speed investment. I've got 14 speed. I top out at 14 speed with my negative speed investment here and 36 EVs. I top out at 14 speed, which might be faster than Squirtle, I think. But I really don't need speed investment. I just need to be faster than a max speed Solosis and a max speed Yamask, and be able to click knockoff versus those, and maybe a max speed Hippo. Not that he would bring any of those. I'm just saying that I need to be faster than those because Fake Out and Faint's not going to be doing much to those. Anyways, that's going to be it for Meowth. Nice Technician, Life Orb, 4 attacks here. Hopefully it can put in the work. Next up, we've got Diglett, a Choice Scarf variant with Arena Trap. Obviously, got to trap those threats like Ponyta, Elekid, so on and so forth. Choice Scarf Diglett's really, really good in this matchup, despite him having the Hippo, the Snivy, so on and so forth, even the Pidgey. Because I can trap things like Ponyta, Elekid, a weakened Gulpin or Alola Meowth or whatever it may be, trap them, eliminate them, and then open up holes for other things. Earthquake's there for just general stab. Rock Slide going to be there for the Pidgey. Obviously, everything else is hit by Earthquake. Sucker Punch to I guess if he was to bring like a Trick Room, Solosis, or Yamask, I would be able to, even with, being outspeeding them outspeeding me under Trick Room, I could bypass that with Sucker Punch. And this is my Stealth Rock setter, so there's that. I have max attack and enough speed to outpace the Ponyta and the Elekid. I think Elekid's actually faster than Ponyta. They might set it to same tier. Elekid might even speed tie with Diglett. I'm not even sure. It may not. Anyways, the idea, like I mentioned, is just to trap everything, eliminate it, and to be a nice revenge killer for things like Ponyta or Elekid, especially Ponyta, because it's a huge threat, despite having Ozreal and 2 water types on the squad. So yeah, that's going to be it. We can move on to Badoo. Alright, so next up we've got Badoo with Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Extra Sensory, and Synthesis. We've got a little bit of EVs left over, 40 to be exact, but we can put 36 to move our special attack up 1 point. So we actually did do that before the match. And yeah, we can tank hits from Snivy all day long, one-shot it with Sludge Bomb, unless it's like max HP, Eviolite or something like that. We've got Giga Drain for the Hippo, Squirtle, and I think that's just about it. But Sludge Bomb hits basically everything else. And then we have the Extra Sensory for the Gulpin, which resists both Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb. And if he doesn't bring it, it's not too big of an issue. Maybe I would have liked to have had Spikes on the squad, but had to bring the extra coverage. And then last but not least, Synthesis for longevity. We are the Natural Cure variant, so we can come in, we can get burned, we can get paralyzed from like maybe a Elekid discharge or something like that, or whatever it may be. But yeah, Badoo's pretty solid in the matchup. Can take a hit from Hippo, can switch in on Hippo, like if he brings Squirtle to Rapid Spin, we can maybe take advantage of that as well. So yeah, Badoo should be nice, and we look forward to using that. Next up, we've got Ozreal. So we're rocking the shiny Ozreal. Shout out to Ginger. We've got the Berry Juice and the Thick Fat. This is such a solid check to Ponyta. It's like, I love it, really. I used it in the Little Cup Tour, and actually used it versus a Ponyta team, and it worked perfect. And so we've got Frustration, which is just General Stab. His only resist is actually an immunity in Yamask, which we have knockoff for, and we've got the Encore and the Endure with the Thick Fat ability, so the Ice and Fire type moves aren't doing as much to us. Berry Juice, obviously, if we get below half, it will give us 20 more HP, and we're actually topped out at 23. So as long as we're not below 3 HP, we will be all the way back to full when our Berry Juice pops, and we can click Endure. If we're like around half and something's going to do about half to us or more than half to us, we can click Endure, live at 100%, Berry Juice pops, we go back to full, and then he's only going to do half to us the following turn, or just over half, and we can maybe do something about that. So Frustration and Knockoffs, like I mentioned, the only attacks I need. Encore is nice for if he sets up Stealth Rocks with the Hippo versus me, or if he goes for Rapid Spin with Squirtle, or Trick Room, or something like that, or Recover with Solosis, or Pain Split with Yamask, or anything like that. I can Encore him into that, and then take advantage of it by switching into Staryu, or Diglett, or even Meowth. But that's going to be it for Ozreal, and we can move on to the star of the team. And Staryu, we've got a Life Orb Analytic variant with 3 attacks and Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin also being an attack, but it doesn't really count in my opinion. Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt's the only coverage. Well, it's the best coverage versus my opponent. Hydro Pump, Boppin, Ponyta, Hippo, Elekid, Solosis, Yamask, Alolan, Meowth, Gulpin, and Pidgeot, especially with the Life Orb. And if they're a switch in, Analytic's going to blow them away. His only resist is Snivy, which gets bopped by Ice Beam. And then he's got, what else did he have? He has the Squirtle. The Squirtle and Pidgey, obviously I can hit it with Thunderbolt, and Squirtle super effective with Thunderbolt, and don't have to risk Hydro Pump versus Pidgey. Also versus Hippo, if he's taking some damage already, I don't have to risk Hydro. I can hit him up with the Pump, or the Ice Beam, and don't have to hit him up with that Pump. But yeah, Life Orb, Analytic, Staryu, Life Orb, Staryu here, in general, even if it's not like switching in on me, is just great and gets rid of rocks and keeps Meowth and Diglett and Corphish and the rest of my mons basically out of Stealth Rock and Hazard stacking. What's the word? Danger, I guess. But yeah, it's a really solid mon and has a really nice speed tier, being able to, I think, speed tie with Ponyta and outpace everything else except Elekid. Speed tie with Ponyta and Elekid, unless Elekid is the same as Diglett, and then we speed tie with Ponyta, outpace everything else except the Elekid. Anyways, that's going to be it, and we can move on to Corphish. So last but not least, we have the Eviolite Adaptability Corphish with Dragon Dance, Waterfall, Knockoff, and Aqua Jet. I think this is the first time we've brought Dragon Dance this season, and like it matches up well in this matchup as long as he doesn't have like a Scarf Snivy or something weird. But Waterfall and Aqua Jet bop his team after Dragon Dance, and Knockoff is really solid, hitting the Solosis and the Yamask pretty hard, as well as doing more damage to Snivy. I could have maybe run X-Scissor, but it didn't do enough to Yamask, and if Waterfall wasn't a knock, I'm not risking Crab Hammer because it misses. It's the 10% chance to miss is not worth the increased critical hit ratio, in my opinion. And the 10 or 20 more base power damage isn't worth the 10% miss to me. It's just not worth it. It's just not. It's not. And yeah, so I can click Dragon Dance versus something like Squirtle if I can avoid Skull Burns, or the Mini Hippo, maybe the Gulpin or the Pidgey or something like that. With my Eviolite, I can tank at least one hit from anything on his team outside of the Snivy and the Elekid, which may be able to OHKO me, but nothing else can OHKO me, so that's really nice. But yeah, that's going to be it. We can hop into the battle and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are with the replay, and he does bring the Mini Hippo, the Yamask, Snivy, Alolan Meowth, Solosis, and the Elekid. No Ponyta, which is phenomenal, even though I kind of prepped for it a lot. No Squirtle. He looks to have like potentially a Trick Room oriented team, like half Trick Room, half not. Suedo Trick Room maybe, with Solosis and Yamask acting as two potential mons that can take advantage of Trick Room and abuse it. And then he's got three mons, Snivy, Alolan Meowth, and Elekid, which could function very well outside of Trick Room, and Hippo functions well either way, being just a tank really. So that's his only potential Stealth Rocker. He does have Toxic Spikes in Yamask though, so that's something to look out for. He has Volt Switch, and I think Alolan Meowth gets U-turn and Parting Shot. But he does have some kind of Bolt Turn momentum grabber for things like Snivy to come in, maybe like a Life Orb Solosis, maybe. You never know. And Little Cup, you could be very, very creative in Little Cup. But yeah, we just got to keep in mind about the item clause, all the rules, so on and so forth. So I think his most likely lead is going to be either one of his momentum grabbers in Elekid or Snivy. Alolan Meowth. Or he's going to lead off with his Hippo to get Rock Soap. I don't necessarily think he would lead Hippo, because I have the two water types on my team and Badoo, all of which I could lead with. So maybe Snivy or the Elekid could be a nice lead for him. I'm just going to lead off with Azurill. I don't need it. He didn't bring the Ponyta, so this thing's already less useful than it was to begin with. And I'm able to go for Knockoff here. So he goes for the Ice Punch, maybe predicting me to be, or maybe not scouting well enough. He may have thought I was a water type. I'm not sure of his Little Cup experience. Or he may have predicted my Diglett to come in on his electric type move. So he goes for the Ice type punch, or the Ice Punch. As I click Knockoff, get rid of his Shed Shell. So nice little tech there. I wouldn't have been able to trap him with Diglett, which is really nice. And he goes for the Wild Charge here, and it's going to pop my Berry Juice, and I'm going to be able to click Knockoff again, predicting him to switch out, but he just keeps attacking. So here I'm finally going to go for Frustration, which I guess I could have knocked him out with Knockoff there anyway. So I just revealed that I have Frustration when I shouldn't have. But I got a little tilted there after he just stayed in repetitively. But I finally got the knockout. And now he brings in the Snivy. This thing's a huge threat, so I'm going to go straight into my Badoo. Not going to play around with it and let it get like more than one boost. And it goes for the hidden power here, ice or fire, maybe psychic. But Sludge Bomb's able to knock him out. I didn't want to make a prediction there. It was too risky. And he brings in the Alolan Meowth. I'm going to sack off Ozreal here as he knocks me out with Aerial Ace. I'm going to go into the Corphish here, and I'm going to set up a Dragon Dance. He doesn't really have really solid counterplay to this, so that's what I'm going to do. He's going to go into the Solosis, and I'm going to click the knockoff here. Turns out he's Cobra Berry, and it turns out that Waterfall would have probably knocked him out. Yeah, so he gets a huge hit off on me, puts me in range of Choice Scarf knockoff. It was a roll there, but it was in his favor, I believe. But I'm able to trap him here with Alolan Diglett, regular Diglett. But I'm not able to pick up the knockout because I didn't have my rocks up, unfortunately. And he's able to knock my Diglett out as well. But I'm going to make a prediction here, predicting him to switch out, predicting my fake out or feint. And I'm going to click the knockoff, predicting him to either go into Hippo or Yamask. Hopefully Yamask, but he does go Hippo. I'll get rid of its Eviolite. And now I can go hard into Badoo, as he's going to click hard Earthquake. He didn't set up rocks, so no big deal there. I can just go into Staryu here. I see an out in the match. I just got to play both of my Pokemon correctly. And he goes hard into Yamask, which I think was a misplay because Meowth is such a huge threat. Here I can just click Ice Beam. No reason to risk Hydro Pump as I could very well miss. He goes into his Alolan Meowth here, but I do have just a little bit of... no, I didn't have no bulk investment. He's just not strong enough to knock me out there. I'm able to pick up the Ice Beam knockout here. And he's going to go for the Protect. As I click the Ice Beam, I don't really have real reason to click Hydro Pump. He doesn't have his Eviolite anymore, so Ice Beam should be able to pick up the knockout, and it does just that. So Staryu wrapping the game up for us and giving us a nice 2-0 victory. I don't think going hard Yamask was the play on Staryu. I think you either let Alolan Meowth go down or you let the Hippo go down. I don't think a full HP Yamask should be going down when there's a Alolan Meowth. A regular Meowth and a Staryu still present. When only Badoo is left anyway. So yeah, he could have gotten rid of my Badoo and kept his Yamask, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's gonna be a game. Good game to Bacon Chest. Good luck the rest of the season, my man. And we're gonna move on to 5-0. 5-0, yeah. Very nice. We got a 5-0 record. And we're going into week 6 versus Curtis Smith, our good buddy, coach of the Wisbeck Town Weezings. So look out for that. Let me know what you thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field in this game. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. All the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.